Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems, East Tennessee's #1 source for security and entertainment needs. If it's electronics, they are the masters. You can visit their website to learn more. You can visit their showroom to see more, and you can call VFL JJ Surlis to ask more. Whether it's protecting your family or entertaining your family, Safety Systems. I want to tell you, coming up today on our overtime segment, that'll post this afternoon along with the rest of the show in HD. It's an extra segment we do. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsSourceTV. We'll tell you when this is posted at SportsSource.tv. We're going to talk about hot seats. Which coaches are untouchable in 2017? Everybody's talking about, well, is so-and-so on a hot seat? What about this guy? All right, let's reverse that. How many of these guys are untouchable? Or is it a case that they're all pretty much on one-year contracts, depending on how that year goes? We'll break that down online. Now, time for our fast finish. I asked folks on Twitter this week during SEC Media Days, I thought it'd be good, if they'd like to see the SEC expand, stand pat, or boot a couple of schools out. 33% said expand to 16 schools. 43% said stand pat at 14, that's good. 24%, 1 in 4, said boot a couple of schools out. So Mike Strange just held his hand up. He would boot them out.
It's too unwieldy if you're only playing an opponent once every 7 years.
Agreed. Here's a lawsuit for you to watch. I think this is interesting. Ohio State football legend Chris Spielman has filed an antitrust lawsuit against the school, his alma mater, Ohio State, and IMG, who Tennessee also uses. Filed a suit against Ohio State and IMG because they have hung 64 banners around Ohio Stadium with photos of Buckeye greats, that's Archie Griffin there, and they put corporate logos for Honda and Nike underneath them. Spielman says, if you're going to use our likenesses, we should be paid. Now, the benefits from this lawsuit would go back to Ohio State. He's just making a point. Don't use my image and make money off of it without my permission.
Exactly.
And that could affect, the reason I say that's a lawsuit to watch, one, Tennessee has IMG as well, and there are a lot of schools that'll do that same kind of thing or will want to. So keep an eye on that one because it could change the way a lot of people do business. Also, Butch Jones announced this week that Tennessee would name weekly captains for the season rather than season-long captains. Thoughts? Give me 30 seconds for all four of you. Do you like it? Do you care?
I have never liked weekly captains. I much prefer permanent captains.
Really?
I understood why they did it because last year you had your permanent captains limping out there on crutches, for the coin toss, and I think you'd rather have a guy that's in the huddle.
Yeah, this year I think it works. A lot of depth of seniors and a lot of different guys need to step up.
Yeah, for Butch Jones, it worked the first 3 years. Changing it in year 4 didn't work, so I agree with the move by Butch Jones.
Last thing, this is interesting. For those of you going to the Tennessee-Georgia Tech game in the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I think that's what they're calling it, I just saw today that is going to be the most fan-friendly prices in all of sports. $2 for a refillable Coke down there, $2 for a hot dog, $5 for beer. So if you're a Vol fan going to Atlanta, that's like half price at most stadiums. That's pretty good. $2 for a refillable Coke, $2 for a bottle of water.
Chick-fil-A will cost the same there as it does at the Chick-fil-A store.
And don't leave out the $3 nachos.
That's right. It's pretty good. Everybody's already seen this story. I
wrote it.
Very good.
I wrote it too.
Really? Yeah, I need to start reading you guys. All right. When we see you next week, they won't be here because they won't be agreeing to join me. We'll be talking UT football much more as the season gets close. That's next week. Thanks for joining us. See you then. See you on Overtime Today.
The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame with Heather Whiteside art now available.